Assalamu alaikum. So all the audience, they can speak English, Arabic, Urdu. Which language we should talk? Urdu is okay, Arabic is okay, English. Okay, I will make a mix of everything because we are just 4 or 5 people here, so nothing to bother. Okay, so first I will give small intro about myself and then we will talk about the startups. My name is Muhammad Amir, as you know, and I have my 5 startups registered in Saudi Arabia. And I'm in Saudi Arabia since 2008. Work in Saudi Aramco, work in the National Petrochemical, work with the different entities. We make strategies for the business, for the Vision 2030, launching strategies for the different companies. I raised around 40 million Saudi Riyal for the different startups, including Saudi startups and US-based startups. So I am the co-founder in 5 startups, plus I'm the CTO in the 3 different startups. US, Australia, and 2 from Saudi Arabia. So this is a small intro. I have 2 masters in chemistry and petroleum, but in 2017, I switched from the oil and gas sector to a technology because the future is the technology. So back in 2017, when we launched a company, so I hardly know about the different languages like PHP, Laravel. First time I heard about it. We were 3 co-founders. One was Saudi, one for myself, and there was one co-founder. He was a tech back guy. So unfortunately, the guy who was our CTO, he has to leave the company because of some family issues. We left in the middle of the sea. There was no one was the technical. We sold some software to different companies and they was looking for solutions. So we don't know about it. So then I opened the YouTube. I start learning. I learned the PHP Laravel language and yeah. It's yes. So it was a long journey, very tough journey, but I never give up. And then back in 2022, I won 2 awards from government based on the tech solutions I proposed for the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah. I received the award from the Governor of Medina, and second award I got it from Deputy Minister of Hajj and Umrah. So it was an innovative solution which was first time launched in Saudi Arabia. So this is the story, and now I'm also invited by the different Saudi universities, colleges to talk to the entrepreneurs, to give them the encourage how to launch, how to start. So it's a very long discussion, but I will try to summarize in the small, few minutes, like something. So first of all, when you are launching something, never launch a company unless you have the emotional association with that startup. If you don't have, you will fail. This is the first step. So you must have to have the emotional association with a startup. So why? What is the example? I will give you a very common example. For example, you are in the home and today it's raining. You will just call your boss, sorry boss, today it's difficult, I cannot come because it's raining and there's a lot of water on the road. But when you are in the office, you never call your family that today is the rain, sorry, I'm not coming. Because it's your commitment. You have to go by any way, either by walk, by helicopter, by any mean. You will find a way because you don't have any excuse. So same thing with the startup. If you don't have the emotional association with startup, with your business, so you will give up in any time. It's not a simple journey. Number 2 is the selection of the idea. People, they said, okay, I want to select idea. Don't select the idea. First of all, you have to select the team. The investors, they will invest on the teams, not on the ideas. Because the good team can take a normal idea and it can take it to the top. But the bad team can destroy the best idea of the world. The third thing, never afraid that people, they will copy your idea. You don't want to talk to the people, no. So many people, they came to me, the Saudi students, they asked me, I don't want to share my idea. I said, okay, you have Uber in front of you, so why people, they are not copying it? So you can copy, it's an exposed idea. Why you cannot copy it? Because if you want to copy the passion. Don't copy the idea. Idea is nothing. The passion is actually behind it. This is the main thing. Okay, so now we will come to the idea selection. So you have to find a team. This is long, a selection criteria. You have to evaluate the people. You have to sit with them. You have to talk to them. Your chemistry should match with your co-founder. So if your chemistry is not matching, you are going to break in any time soon. So okay, how to select the idea? First of all, if you are solving the problem, customer will come to you. You don't have to go to the customers. I have, for example, you have 5 cars in your home. I have the bike, and I will come, I will say, okay, it's a market value of the bike is 50,000 rupees or 100,000 rupees. And I will offer you just in 10,000 rupees. So you will say, okay, what I have to do? I have the 3 cars in my home. So why I should buy the bike from you? So, okay, tomorrow you are traveling somewhere. You are in the middle of the desert, and it's 12 midnight, and your car breaks down. So what will happen? I am coming by the bike, small bike, old bike. I will tell you, okay, guy, if you want to sit on the bike, I will charge you 200,000 rupees. Are you willing to sit on my bike? You will say, yes, of course, because you are solving the problem of the person. So this is the first thing. The second thing, another guy, he's coming by the rickshaw or by the old car. So now people, they have the choice. You have the better choice. Either go by the bike, it's difficult because you are sitting on the bike, more danger is there, risk is high, but what if I sit in the car? So if you're sitting in the car, you're even willing to pay extra to the car guy. So you have to build something when you are launching, so you have to think about it, what is the unique feature, what is the unique selling point? And don't compare, if you are not optimistic, it is very difficult to survive in the market. So if I was in 2017, I was a non-tech guy. I could say, sorry, it's impossible. I cannot do that one. So no, never give up. Be emotionally associated with your startup, but make a plan. Always you should have to have the plan. What happens if plan A fails? What happens if the plan B fails? What happens if the plan C fails? So here, some companies I saw around the globe, so they have the different plan, but still they fails. What is the reason? The reason is that, for example, you have the plan A. So plan A is, for example, that is for the 3 months. So if it is fail, I want to implement the plan B from the 3rd month till the last year. So plan A never fail after the end of the 3 months. From the day 1, if you didn't break down your goals or your KPIs and you are not monitoring it, so it means you are heading toward a failure. On the day 1, you don't have the customer. On the day 2, you don't have the customer. On the day 30, you don't have the customer. It means at the end of the 90th day, you don't have the customer. You are not going to achieve what you are looking for. So keep track your KPIs, and just before the failure of the plan A, start implementing the plan B, because plan B also needs certain time to stabilize. So implement before it totally fails, then you start from the scratch or start from the 0. Okay, so now, the other important thing, any startup, which I give the consultation to many startups, and some of them they successfully raised, some of them they couldn't raise successfully the funding. So what was the reason? What was the difference actually between both of them? I was working with them like 1 year or a couple of years. I worked with both type of the startups. So those who are raising the fund and working successfully in their startup, they was very well focused. Very well focused. So one of the startup recently we raised 2.2 million USD in USA. So this startup was about online education platform. So when I start giving them the consultation, so we was working on something. I asked her, she's the US-based co-founder, so I asked her if she can add some good features so it can enhance the value of your startup. She said, sorry, no, I want to first finish this step, then I want to go to the next step. My very first startup was failed actually very badly in 2018. What was the reason? This was a lesson learned after spending a huge amount. So I built an application. I was in the hospital with my wife. It was like 1.5 hours we was waiting in the queue. I was talking to myself, okay, why not to have the queue application? So everybody in the hospital sitting like 100 people, and they have to wait for the 2 hours, 3 hours. So how much time we are wasting as a nation? So why not to launch an application which can have the precise appointment system. It can give me through the Google Maps also that how long it will take from my home to the hospital. Road is full, okay, today I have to leave early, blah, 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 blah. So we was talking about it, then I called my co-founder, Saudi co-founder, so I told him that I have this idea, why not to solve this problem? He said, okay, go ahead. So we took 2 months to build an application. We was about to launch, then he called me. He said, Muhammad, I am sitting with my wife in the saloon. So it's a very long queue. Why not to add this feature also in the application that can solve the problem of the saloons? I said, yes, it's a great idea. Let us do it. So we took another 2 months to build this feature. Now 4 months is gone. Then after that, I was going to the restaurant on the weekend. There was a no table. I said, oh, it's mean people, they don't have the solutions for the queue system in the restaurant, for the food booking, for the table booking. I called him and he said, just go ahead, add this feature also. 6 months gone. We added, believe me, 9 different features in this application, which I never saw the application like this in my life, and we never launched. Why? Because when the time of the launching was there, we was thinking, okay, where to focus? Should we start with the hospitals? Marketing? Should we start with the saloons? Should we start with the restaurants? Or should we start with which feature we should launch? So it was really a very hectic. Now we cannot, when you are taking the people on board. So for example, if I have the 9 different features in my application, so it's mean that when somebody is signing in with your system, so he couldn't find service providers, so you will delete the application. Because why you are having the people? Because you want to give them the services. When service providers are not there, what you are going to do? So it was a very bad decision. So number 1 in your life, I learned this lesson by spending almost 180,000 Saudi riyal. Multiply by 75, you will get in numbers in the rupees. I lost it literally from my pocket. And it was a bad decision. So now I learned this lesson, alhamdulillah, and then we launched other features with a very basic feature. There's a one term, we called it MVP. So what is MVP? Minimum viable product. What is the minimum viable product? It should be an application? No. Currently, I am giving the consultation to one startup from Medina. In Saudi, she's a female from Medina originally, and she's very smart. What they did, they launched the business in 2022, and it was about the logistic platform. They don't have anything. They started with an Excel sheet. So what she did, she collected the numbers of all the service providers, and she just tried on in the Excel sheet. Driver, what is the truck size, what is his availability, from which city to which city he can move. They just listed down. Believe me, in the first year, how much they got the revenue? 5.5 million Saudi riyal they have the revenue. I saw those numbers by myself. Second year, they transferred this business to the WhatsApp because they want to a little bit automate it. So instead of the Excel, they say it's very difficult to manage the Excel. Why not to receive the queries instead of the calls on the WhatsApp? So last year, in 2023, they have the revenue 10 million Saudi riyal, multiplied by 75. So you will get the numbers in the rupees. So see, this is called MVP actually. So what is the benefit of the MVP in the startup? Just because I don't have the money? No. Because I want to validate my idea. Is it good or no? Maybe some feature which I want to build, it's not suitable for the customers. So maybe customer is looking for something else. So first validate your idea. And don't build anything with your money. If you are a real businessman, don't spend even 1 riyal or halala or rupees or penny from your pocket. So this is not a wise decision because you have a lot of YouTubers, you have a lot of lesson in your life, so learn from them something rather than you spend the money because life is very short. Don't do the practical. So learn something and build something from the money of the others. So don't cheat them, but use their money. Second thing, you should have to have, this is very important, if you have very short term, most of the Pakistani business and startup, they have one very big problem. When I talk to them, why you don't want to launch a startup or a company? So they say, because we want to raise a funding. How much you want to raise? $2 million or $3 million. Okay, so what will happen now? When you set a very short-term goal, if you raise a funding, you will lose the interest because this was your goal to just to raise $2 million or $3 million. Now today you got it, and after that, what interest you have in this company? You want to quit actually. So most of the Pakistani startup, if you see their history, when after the raising they close actually. Some of them they cheat, no problem, but most of them they lose the interest actually. They go down. And if you don't raise the funding, you are unable to reach to your goal. So you will also leave the interest. You will say, okay, I try a lot, but I couldn't have this, and thank you very much. I don't want to do it. So that's why you should have to have a very long-term goal if you want to build. The thing is that why you want to launch? Why I leave the job from Saudi Aramco? I was the head of the quality department. My salary was, alhamdulillah, it was excellent. Until now, I couldn't reach to, from my 5 startup, I couldn't reach to those numbers. What was the reason? Every facility of the life I had there. The reason is that when I was in Aramco, we give around $25 million contract for the software development to the third parties. And most of them was Indian companies. Most of them. There was no Pakistani company. I go to my management, I said, okay, why we are inviting only the Indian companies? We can invite the Pakistani companies as well. So he said, oh, Pakistani, they are mostly, they are drivers, they are a labor. Who said to you they have the technology? Because most of the people they are working in Gulf region, they are drivers. They are labor. So they have perception in their mind. I said, no, I have to change this perception. I will launch one day and I will let them know that Pakistani, they can do something in the tech as well. So this was one of the reasons. So the other thing is that now you have the idea. Idea is the best idea, as I told you. It's not what you like it, what you think is the right. Actually, the best idea is the one when you are solving the problem of the market. So if you don't have the competitor, but you solve the problem, people, they are coming to you. The other important thing is the marketing. Marketing is the backbone after having the idea. So if you don't have the marketing, you will fail. The example, you have the gold mine. You have the tons of the gold in your home, and you cannot sell it. So you will die like a fakir. In Arabic, we call the poor is fakir. Not fakir like we have this fakir in Pakistan. In Arabic, fakir is different. So you will die like a poor, if you don't have the marketing, but you have the gold mine in your home. Because you are not telling to the people what you have. And if you have the sand, you are doing the business of the mud or sand, you can generate the millions of the dollars from it. One girl in Saudi, she asked how I can generate the millions from the sand. Give me the example. I said, where are you living? She said, in the home. I said, the home is built of what? She said, concrete, and it's concrete blocks and all this stuff. I said, okay, what they put it inside? She said, cement plus sand. So I said, it means somebody sold it, somebody bought it. So it means there is a business is going on in the market. So the marketing is the key for any idea before you do it. Okay, so now there's a two type of the startup people. They said, I have the money, I want to launch a company. And some they said, okay, I have an amazing idea, but I don't have the money. So what to do in this one? So you have to make a strategy, short-term, medium-term, and long-term strategy. What I did. After losing that much money, I make 2 companies, small companies. So first company was giving the services. Other company was building the product. Why? Because remember one thing in your life. This is really a key for every entrepreneur in the life of the entrepreneur. If you want to build a brand, don't go with the services. Service will never be a brand. Only the product will be a brand. Today you are driving the car of Honda, you are driving the car of the Lexus, you are wearing the clothes of Zara and Fala and Fala. So those are what? Those are product. Give me the top 10 companies around the globe are brands and they have the services. Except there's one exception, KFPM or some other brands, Reliance consultancy firms. So they build something, build a brand, build a product and build a brand. Okay, how to build a brand? This is very important. So I don't have the money, I want to build a brand, I want to build a product, but I don't have the money. What to do? So what I did actually in the beginning, services in something is very good. Service don't need a huge amount, huge investment. It doesn't require the investment actually. And other thing in the services, it can bring a very quick revenue. So I have a software house or I am a financial consultant. I will call here and I will just build my LinkedIn profile or just one website. I will offer my services Anybody will come to me, okay, I will say, okay, I will charge you 10,000 US dollars or 20,000 US dollars. This is my services for the consultation or the software development charges. So when you have this revenue, don't put this money in your pocket. Feed your team, those who are working on the services, and take the amount and give it to the team, those who are building the product parallelly. So you don't have to spend the money from your pocket. So the first goal, the very first goal, from the services, phase one, you have to generate the revenue that can feed your team, those who are building the product. Phase two, you should have certain automated services. You can build your convert. Okay, but this is a very important thing. One girl, she asked me one question. She said, I have the skill, I have the services, how I can convert, how I can build the product. I'm a designer, so it is impossible. I said, no, this is possible. I said, where you are doing the designing stuff, I think. How much time you have? 5 minutes max. Thank you. So this is, see, the key. You have to think very smartly when you are building the products. You have to convert your services to the product. How? So there is a driver. He is very well known in his community, and people, they are calling him. Okay, can you please come and pick me and drop me? So what he's doing the services, right? So he don't have the scalability. If somebody will call him from the Karachi, he can travel? Impossible. So scalability is not there. So what this driver he did, he is very famous, very well known. So he built an application which can have the same selection criteria what he has. Okay, I need a driver with a clean clothes, I need a car with this model, that model, and he should be always on the time. So now his services was converted into the product, and this product was offering us services. We are using the Microsoft, we are using the Google. Google is offering you the services? No, Google's product is offering you a services. Even in the 50s. So thank you very much, because the time is short. So unfortunately, thank you.